Two of the things I get asked the most about my travels are how do I save money and how do I make friends? One of the answers for both of those is hostels. Although I have a handful of hostel horror stories, I have so many more amazing experiences, memories, and people I've met along the way. So I've handpicked some of the best hostels in Mexico City to show you just how amazing hostels can be. So I just took a really long bus ride to get to the downtown area of Mexico City, which is where I'm staying for the first night, in the Zocalo. It's actually super close to the airport, but the traffic was atrocious. And now I'm not sure what's happening, but they've got the Zocalo kind of blocked off with riot police. But this is where like a lot of the national buildings are, so a lot of times there's demonstrations and protests here. Totally peaceful, but yeah, a lot of police out right now. So I've just checked into my first hostel that I'm gonna stay in. It's not the fanciest of them all for sure, but it's got a redeeming factor. I'll show you that in just a minute. Also, don't forget to bring your own lock if you're staying at a hostel because they almost never provide them. Sometimes they'll rent them to you. And there should always be lockers. So it's a little bit hard to find. It's behind the cathedral, and there's a little sign that says hostel right here. You have to walk past security. There's a little restaurant here. And check in there. So this is the kitchen. And here's another terrace. We've got the cathedral out here. So when you check in, they actually give you a little coupon for a free tequila or mezcal up at the rooftop bar. So one of the things I really love about staying in hostels is all of the social events that they have. It really is hands down one of the best ways to meet people while traveling. But tonight my hostel that I'm staying in now is having a guacamole night. So we're actually going to go have like a little cooking class up in the kitchen. It's kind of BYOB, so I'm going to go pick up a few beers and then head up to the kitchen and we're going to make some guacamole.
It's not that big deal.
Tú le puedes poner dos, yo le voy a poner cuatro porque como mucho. ¿De qué parte de Durango eres?
Del Salto,
Okay.
pegado a Sinaloa, ahí en la que viene siendo sierra. Allá donde hay pura nieve.
I want to taste it.
Tell me if I'm Mexican.
Okay.
Is it okay? What does it need?
What we say in Mexico when you are a good cooker or when you're good at something, it's like you are already prepared to get married. And girls, you are. It's really tasty. I like it.
Thank you.
I like it.
So I'm about to check out of my first hostel, Hostel Mundo Joven. So let's start with the cons. It's a little on the loud side because it is right next to the Zocalo, which is the main square. It's surrounded by government buildings. There's a lot of people out there. But aside from that, the hostel itself is a little bit noisy because there's this really amazing restaurant and bar on the roof. So you can kind of hear the music from that and a lot of people up there. And then also, the rooms are not exactly closed off. There's kind of a, not really window, but shutters that open out into sort of a stress center area, and you can hear everything going on in all of the other rooms. Not just on your floor, but the whole, I think there's 5 floors. So it's a little bit on the loud side. The other con would be that it's just not the fanciest. Not that many hostels are really fancy, but by backpacker standards, a lot of hostels are actually quite nice. So yeah, it's a little on the lower end of that scale, but it's not dirty. There's nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't have like the nicest decorations and things like that. Okay, saying that, there's a lot of pros, and the reasons that I chose this hostel. First of all, I've been here before, so I knew about the amazing view, the rooftop, and also I just got off the plane and wanted to know exactly where I was going. So this is super easy. It's very centrally located. There's a lot in this area, like the Zocalo, the Cathedral, Cinco de Mayo Avenue, which will take you to the Fine Arts Palace. It's just a really nice area for walking around. On top of that, they also have a lot of social events. They did a guacamole night last night, so they brought all of the avocados and other ingredients, and there was maybe 15 of us up here making guacamole together, so that was really awesome. Also, the staff here are just really friendly and amazing, and you also get breakfast included. So if you are on a budget, a lot of hostels do offer you a free breakfast. I actually didn't know that I was going to get free breakfast here, so that was a nice surprise this morning. But it's just another great way that you can save money while you're traveling. This hostel is around $15 a night. For a hostel, it's a little bit pricey, but it's really in such a great location, and for Mexico City, it's a little bit up, just slightly above average. So I'm headed now to my second hostel. It's day 2 in Mexico City. I'm pretty excited about this one. I've never stayed there before, but it looks really, really nice. It's called Casa Pepe, and it's also near the Zocalo, so I don't have to go too far. But this one has a lot of things. It has a game room, has another rooftop, so I'm really excited about it, but it's also one of the more expensive hostels that I've ever stayed in. And I mean expensive by hostel standards. I think it was $25 a night, which is quite pricey for a hostel, but I think it's really going to be worth it. So I've just found the little movie room. Look at that. And this is actually like a hammock where you can lay. Wow. So I'm in my second hostel now, Casa Pepe, and it's just really amazing so far. I'm on the rooftop right now. It's just really cool and fun, and they have like a ton of different amenities, like a movie room, a co-working space, and they have a bunch of social events as well. So tonight, in just a few minutes, we're going to get started with happy hour, and then after that we're doing tacos and lucha libre, which is like Mexican wrestling, so that's going to be super, super fun.
We're gonna leave at 8 o'clock, okay?
So apparently we have like 25 people for lucha libre tonight. So let me do a quick review of Casa Pepe. It's really hard to find any downsides of Casa Pepe. Like, I loved it there. It was great. It just, the community there was really, really amazing. I met so many awesome people and we had so much fun. We went out to Lucha Libre and did like tacos and mezcal beforehand on the roof, and it was just really, really fun. The staff is super friendly. Everything was really clean. It was decorated really nicely. They had all these things like a movie room and a co-working space. It was just great. Like, I can't really find any faults about it except for the price. It was definitely the most expensive hostel that I'm gonna stay in Mexico City, and I think it's actually the most expensive hostel I've stayed in ever. It was $25 a night for a dorm room, which for a hostel is kind of a lot. Depending on where you are in the world, you can get a hostel for around $10, sometimes cheaper, sometimes more, but $25 is a little bit on the high side for sure, but really worth it. I would definitely stay there again, even with the price. And I might even go back just to hang out, because I can go to the rooftop, I can hang out, I can join their social events. I don't have to be staying there. So I've just gotten to my third hostel, and it's actually a little bit cheaper than the last hostel I was at, but is quite a bit nicer actually. It's, when you walk in, it's just this big lobby that looks like kind of a fancy hotel lobby. So here's a quick tour of my room. This is my bed with all my junk on it. Most hostels will have like your own little private outlet and reading light. And usually they have a curtain here for privacy. This one doesn't, which I don't love. But it's nice and clean. So this is Selena. They have hostels all over Mexico and a lot around the world as well. But I've stayed in a lot of the Selena hostels in Mexico, in I think Holbox, Playa del Carmen, Cancun, and their kind of claim to fame is their co-working spaces. So they've got a really, really nice area for people who work online, so that's great. And I've just passed the library. They've just got a lot of spaces where people can sit and work on their laptop. recap Selena downtown Mexico City. When I first walked in, I thought, wow, this is amazing. But the longer I stayed there, the more I felt like there was really no substance. I have a lot of little petty things that I didn't really love about it, but really the biggest thing was that there was no community. I think one of the biggest responsibilities of a hostel is to facilitate that community. I actually stayed there for 2 nights and I literally met no one. The second con would be that a lot of the things that they advertised were not available. They said that there was a terrace, which after I looked hard enough I did find, but it was always locked. I asked about some tours and activities and they said, yeah, no, we're not doing that right now. There was also a movie room. They also said, no, you can't go in there. And the staff, they didn't really seem to care. They weren't very friendly and they just were never very helpful or informative, ever. Okay, and then lastly, this is one of the petty ones, but it was just so dark. All of the lights throughout the whole building were just really, really dim. I mean, you saw when I first arrived, I was sitting in the room. That was with all of the lights on. And just in the hallways, it's really dim. The lobby is really dim. It really doesn't do much to help the haunted hotel vibe. Okay, so it wasn't all bad. It's clean. It's a really beautiful space. And the price is pretty on par with what you get. It's around $15 a night. If you want just like somewhere nice to sleep, that's really chill, you're not too interested in meeting other people, then it could be a great place. Also, I have to point out the co-working space again. It's really nice. Like it's big, it's amazing Wi-Fi. They have phone booths, so for people like me that need a private space to teach, you can use that. Also, the co-working space is not included in your stay, so if you are staying somewhere else, you can pay the fee to come and use the co-working space. Okay guys, that is all for this video. I'm super curious to know, what is the best hostel that you've ever stayed in? I stayed in a resort hostel in Costa Rica, a gorgeous riad in Marrakesh, hostels with pools or on the beach, and there's so many other amazing ones out there, so let me know in the comments down below. I always book through Hostelworld. You can see reviews, you can see photos, you can even see how many people are staying at a particular hostel and even where they're from. I'll put the link down in the description, as well as the links to all of the hostels that you saw in this video today. And as always, be sure to subscribe. I've got a lot more Mexico content coming soon.